So some of you may be wondering why I didn't do a movie review of Mortal Kombat 2. And to be honest, it's because it was a little mediocre for the older people out there. Okay, to give my thoughts real quick, I'd say the movie still did a decent job with most of its effects and looking similar to the game. There was a few parts where, you could tell that the background was obviously green screen, blue screen, whatever. Carl Urban, in most adaptations of the Johnny Cage character, I'm pretty sure he's depicted more as a younger guy. This one was kind of an older version, which, with what Carl Urban was given, I'd say he still did a pretty decent job. I'd say even the majority of the humor was okay with me. The main issue for me is the fact that the stakes, not to say that they weren't high enough necessarily, but to me it seemed like the story was more of a side thing or a side character rather than something that the characters really believed was that big of a stake. They mostly focused on the aesthetic of the film and the battles or fighting, which is some people that might be okay with because, it's a video game movie. Do you really go to those all the time for spectacular writing or story? But to me, I just say, to be honest, it didn't feel like the characters or actors really believed that the stakes were that high, so to speak, because the story seemed so short and rushed, but the rest of the film was mostly like the tournament, if that makes sense. But anyways, like I said, for some people that might not be an issue. Do you guys go to see a movie of a video game for the writing and hoping that they get most of that right? Or do you go more for the aesthetic or feel? Personally, I think that both are kind of important. But, in a perfect world, right?